There she is.
I must have slipped.
That's happened to me.
Well, yes, it does, Dave, because your heart beats faster, your knees go weak, you might fall off your chair.
Yeah.
Life becomes a bit of a fantasy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But according to science, the feeling of falling in love won't last forever. In fact, you'll only have 2 years before it all changes.
Well, it's not necessarily bad news, though. Our next guest says it's a completely natural phase. It has nothing to do with your heart. Instead, it's all to do with the old grey matter. Dr. Fred Nour has written a book about the science behind love, and he joins us now from Los Angeles. Dr. Nour, thank you for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Now,
Good morning.
How can that magic feeling, that feeling of love, how can it only last for 2 years, Dr. Nour?
Well, love is not one event at one time. Love is a series of events that happens in phases, and each phase has a purpose. When that purpose ends, you move to the next phase, and the final goal is to go to the last phase. First phase is mate selection. When that's done, you move to falling in love or romance. When that fulfills its purpose, you move to falling out of love. And when that fulfills its purpose, you move to the final goal of true love, which lasts you for a lifetime.
Dr. Nour, can I ask you, the first phase is called mate selection. So what does that involve?
It is really done by two parts of the brain. One is called intermediate limbic brain. It's unconscious. It's not voluntary. Your heart is beating now. You cannot make it beat faster or slower at will. But it has two purposes. One is genetic selection for the person. Each one looks different from the other person around you because each one of us have a unique set of genes. And as a result, what is a good genetic match for you is different from, say, was the genetic match for your sister. So the genes help us select the mate that's most appropriate for us genetically that will give us the healthiest children. And by doing that, it alters our perception of vision, hearing, and smell. For example, two people can smell a T-shirt of one man. One woman can feel it doesn't smell good. The other woman feels it smells wonderful. When you look at the genes of the man match with the genes of the woman that feels it smells wonderful, the child of this combination will be very healthy.
Or very smelly.
While the combination between the one you feel is not attractive and your gene, when you look at the mix of the genes, you discover that the children will be less healthy. So nature is directing you away from the mismatched genes and directing you toward the gene that when mixed with yours will produce the absolute healthiest children.
Fantastic. Now, Doctor, you say that when we get into the romantic phase, you say that sort of gaga feeling comes from when the brain releases chemicals called, is it monoamines? Is that right? Monoamines?
That's correct. Once you make a mate selection, your brain releases a set of 4 chemicals, all together called monoamines. Each one does a function to make you feel happy, excited, elated, loss of sleep, daydreaming about your lovers, and all of that at that phase. It's the most exciting phase. It is the phase that's mentioned in all the movies, the love novels, the Disney cartoon characters. It's the most exciting phase, so the one we remember more.
Yes,
but
definitely.
When its function ends, it has to end.
And that's
like the pregnancy. When the function of the pregnancy ends, it has to end.
Doctor, that's the bit that people might get a little bit sad about, you know, the falling out of romantic love phase. But you suggest that it might not be all that bad.
No, it's a normal phase. It's done for a benefit and a purpose. It is the cessation of the release of the monoamine or decrease in their effects. And the purpose is to make us see reality. When we are falling in love, we don't see reality. The so-called love is blind. So it's to give you a second chance on love to help you to see reality before you proceed further. And if you made a mistake, it's a good time to end the relationship and try again all over. Like the pregnancy that ends in a miscarriage, 85% of them are because of the fetus has defective genes. So the body doesn't want to waste the time with unproductive pregnancy and the pregnancy, so it can start right away with a new correct one. Falling in love is exactly the same way. It is for a purpose of your discovering reality. If you made a mistake, you can correct yourself. If you don't fall out of love, you cannot fall in love with another person. Like a pregnant woman cannot get pregnant by a second one unless she loses the first baby. It's impossible to have two at the same time. We can only love one person and not multiple people.
All right, Dr. Nour, fascinating stuff this morning. The book is called True Love, How to Use Science to Understand Love. We really do thank you for your time this morning. To get that book, head to truelovebook.net.